That was so good. That was so good. What up, everybody? It's your boy Dez, aka MK, and this is the first video in a series that I'm going to call Battle Tested. As I go along and get better recording and editing software, I'll have a cool title screen, maybe some animations. But this is going to be a series where I get to talk about how these figures actually do in games. So with my unboxing and with my follow-up video, a lot of it was talking about how these figures might work. So what I'll do is I'll let you know what I played this weekend, some basic strategies I saw, and my opinions of these figures in game. So first thing I want to do is show you the team that I played on this past weekend. So we'll slide these foot soldiers away. We'll slide these turtles away. And the funny thing was there was some common figures that you've seen throughout the set being played. Metalhead, of course, because of his range, being one of the few characters with range in this game. And Leatherhead was very popular as well. I think it's just because he's a pretty dominant character compared to the other figures in the set. But my team, we had Slash, we had Michelangelo from Nickelodeon, we had Raphael from Nickelodeon, we had Nobody, we had Metalhead, of course, and then we had Donatello with the red mask. So this was the team that I played. Of 7 people, I ended up coming in second, so I was pretty satisfied with my strategies overall. I did win the map. I didn't get the mutagen special object, but I really wanted the map, so it was a win-win for me. The first thing that I kind of want to break down is just a strategy that, or rather a move that you can do with 2 figures. The guy I played against, he also had a Donatello Metalhead combination. The combination wasn't as popular as I would have thought. But if you have a Donnie, you have a Metalhead, you have to play them together. He used Donatello from the Nickelodeon set. His Donnie served a little more of a purpose, so he didn't do this as often. But this Donatello, he only has Outwit top dial. First click, Outwit, 18 defense. I love that click a lot, so I didn't want to get off of it. But once he's off of that click, now he's really just fodder for Metalhead. So if you were to play these 2 guys, first thing you do, you have Metalhead carry Donatello, because Metalhead has a sidestep, he's a flyer, so it's a lock value 2, he carries Donatello, and then he carries Donatello however far you need him to go, and you give him the power action. Now he has a trait, at the beginning of the turn, you can give Donatello a action token and take it off of Metalhead. So beginning of the turn, you give it off of this guy, give it on the Donnie. Now Metalhead can sidestep again, carrying Donatello. Donatello can outwit with his minimum range 6, and then Metalhead can go ahead and shoot someone. You give Metalhead a token. Next turn, so this would be turn 3. No reason to give out any more tokens. What you'll do is just have Metalhead with his Indom take another action, maybe sidestep, maybe outwit with Donnie, maybe shoot again. So this is 3rd turn. He's already done 2 attacks. Pretty decent. Donatello would, of course, clear. Beginning of the next turn, it's turn 4. You give Donatello the token. Metalhead now is free up with his Indom to make another sidestep, another attack. You give him a token for that. And then, let's say your Donatello has already been hit. He's no longer on that top dial. He doesn't have his outwit. Next turn, I'd be perfectly okay with taking a token off of Metalhead. Not something I actually did in the game, but theoretically, give Donnie another token, push him 1 click, and Metalhead can get another attack. So it's pretty dominating. With a lot of people not having range in this set, you have him shooting at people with combat reflexes for most of their defensive abilities, and he's just bypassing all of that. This Metalhead actually took down my Slash as well, for the same reason. Slash is really dangerous if you're next to him, but if you're shooting at him, you're avoiding his spike shell, you're avoiding his charge, or by that 4th click, he no longer has move and attack, and that really was his downfall in my game. But yeah, so that was my favorite move to do, and it worked for me pretty successfully. First game, 3rd game. Besides that, you throw Nobody onto this team because he has the police ability. He can also sidestep. He can keep up with these 2 guys as they're moving around the board. anyone who is seen by them -1 to their defense. You're just making it much easier for Metalhead. Michelangelo, of course, comes in with the perplex on every odd clicked. So he's perplexing up attack on Metalhead if you need it, damage on Metalhead if needed. And, you know, these guys together, they did just as well as I would have expected. And then Slash, just for the pure offense, which was tricky on this map because of how much hindering there was on both sides. On the one side of the map inside the sewer, you have to make sure that you're staying away from the center of the map, and I kind of had to draw people to Slash to make sure he doesn't get that -2 modifier. On this map, which you can kind of see, I do apologize, but on the Technodrome map, same situation. In the middle of the map, it's really hard to have Slash positioned without getting that -2. If your opponent is smart, they'll plop their guys right in that hindering, which happened to me. The great thing, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello all have Quake or some form of knockback. So even though people were parked in hindering, I was knocking them right towards Slash. Slash exploiting for 3 with a 12 attack, nowhere near the hindering. It was really good. It really worked for me. My picks in terms of best figure that I've seen, I would say honorable mention goes to Krang, but the Chase figure, specifically the Chase Michelangelo, is just a beast. The second game that I played against Chase Michelangelo. The ability to come in with a flurry, hit one guy, hit him a second time, break away, hit another guy, and you're giving out tokens each time you're hitting people. You know, the damage output there was crazy good. Due to, I don't know, WizKids, you know, negligence or oversight, all of the Chase Turtles have a trait where if they're next to another figure named Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, they can use Impervious. It doesn't say friendly character, it says any character. So even my Donatello, my Mikey, who was next to the Chase Mikey, was helping him defensively. You know, thank God I had exploit with my Slash, and you know, Raphael with his blades. Otherwise, you know, their defenses are just too hard to get through. 18 Impervious. And then they have stealth, which really I didn't come across a single thing that could break through stealth in this game. So honorable mention again, Krang. The judge played Krang and kept saying how dominating Krang was. But I got to see Michelangelo up close and personally, and I can attest that he's pretty beastly. So I'm going to go ahead and say best figures in this set are the Chases. You know, they're definitely, we've gone through a period where some of the Chases really weren't that, they were cool if you're a collector, but you're going to want to play these Chases. The only thing that helped me in the second game, nobody's ability to prevent someone from attacking really helped a lot. So sidestepped right next to that Mikey, give him a power action, Mikey can't attack. You know, you take a figure that's so offensive and nerf him. You know, I bought myself some time. Besides all of the knockback towards Slash, which was one of my favorite things, something that happened to me that was pretty awesome, Leatherhead. Leatherhead death rolled his way through 4 guys. Killed 2. The other guys had toughness, knockback each for 2. You know, Leatherhead, I subbed him out at the last second for Slash. I probably should have kept him in the game, considering the terrain, considering, you know, how many clicks he has, his constant move and attack. You know, he has that charge for 2 of his clicks. He has his death roll for 2 of his clicks. You know, then he clicks over to willpower. You know, and he has a great damage reducer. There's really no stopping this guy. In the game that I've seen, though, the guy who beat me second round, when he went to the championship game, it was someone outwitting the death roll. And also with the Chase Mikey that he was using, you know, this takes me to the next segment. The guy who won the whole thing for the day, his team was very, very simple. And I loved it. You know, it was a 400-point build. And his team was essentially the 4 Red Mask Turtles. He had a Splinter. He had an April. He had a Casey. And the synergy there was just amazing. You know, they're all giving each other these defensive boosts, these offensive boosts. You know, as long as you're keeping them together and not getting hit by a death roll, getting hit by an energy explosion, you know, they really work well together. And he was able to sweep 3-0. He beat team with Chase Mikey on it. And it really made me happy because it showed me that, and hopefully, you know, for new players, people always think you have to play meta. You have to know, you know, what piece is borderline broken in order to win. And sometimes it's just not fun. I don't want to play against someone in a casual setting and they're just, you know, I went online and bought $100 worth of, you know, the best pieces. It's not about what you're playing, it's how you play it. And he showed with his team that these guys can compete with a lot of other figures. Besides that, you know, and congrats to him. The other team that I've seen that was kind of a really interesting team to me, but maybe not so much in how they were played. I played against someone who had a team of foot soldiers with Slash and with, I think his name's Alpha 1, this foot soldier with the mask on. And it was a fun team to look at, but what I noticed, and this was something actually mentioned by someone else, on the last 2 clicks 3 and 4 of the foot soldiers, they cannot do much damage. They could either do 1 damage or I believe 2 damage on click 3. But besides that, they don't have any other abilities besides plasticity and willpower. So if you're still top click with a turtle, who all of them have toughness, you know, it's very hard for them without having outwit from a Shredder or outwit from a Baxter Stockman to really be able to do anything to you. So in my my first game against the foot soldiers, I hit everyone just enough to put them on the last click or second to last click, and then I ignored them. There was nothing that they could have done at that point to be a threat. I waited till Slash got close enough. Once Slash and Alpha 1 were KO'd, go ahead and clean up the foot soldiers. It's slim pickings at that point. What I want to do, I'm going to want to put up a video. It's going to be a simulation. You know, a lot of people will do this sometimes before a big tournament. I know some people think it's stupid. Some people think it's pretty popular idea. But I'm going to try to do a simulated game where I play the foot soldiers against the turtles. I have a general idea of how I think they're supposed to play with their sidestep and with their, you know, just mass numbers. But we'll want to see. We'll want to see if we can pull it off in an actual game. But yeah, besides that, that's how the game went. If you haven't yet played in your store for Ninja Turtles OP, things to look out for, you're going to see Metalhead, because of that range that he has, which is pretty clutch in this set. Slash, if you're thinking about using him, just keep in mind that it's going to be a lot of positioning. He doesn't have the sidestep everyone else has. He doesn't have the end-dom everyone else has, or willpower. So it's going to be putting him where you need him to be and having people come to him. Either, you know, using Quake, using knockback, but you're going to want to bring people to him because a smart player is going to position their guys so that he's always getting a -2. Besides that, Shredder, if his outwit and Earthbound is really good. April also with an outwit that sees through characters, really good. I didn't see those 2 figures as much. I think especially because of the rarity. Shredder is a rare, but I've seen him less than I've seen Chases. I've seen 1 Chase Raphael, 2 Chase Mikeys, and 1 Shredder. And I got a message from someone who watched my previous video, you know, 90-some figures that he opened, singles that he opened, and didn't pull a Shredder. So, you know, I'm still looking for one myself. But besides that, my name again was Desmond. This was Battle Tested, TMNT. Look forward to posting another video up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. But you guys be cool. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out.